Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the new normal. I thank you guys so much for tuning in with me and coming along on this journey with me. Today is April the 20th, which means that we're 20 days into April and the challenge still continues. Hopefully, you guys are pressing forward with the goals that you established back on April the 1st. I know that for myself, I have been diligently trying to keep up with those goals. As always, I like to try to do some affirmations because I feel like affirmations is something that helps me continue moving forward. Because sometimes we're kind of confused, we're clouded, we don't know what to do. And so sometimes it's just a few words that kind of re-energize us and allow us to see the path that we're on and give us the energy to move forward. So one of the things that I have for today is when writing the story of your life, never let anyone else hold the pen. And by that I mean, of course, we know that society will dictate what we should and what we shouldn't be. But that has nothing to do with us. As I said on my podcast before many times, that's their problem. That's not a you problem. That's not a me problem. That's someone else's problem. So if I wanted to write the story of my life, I definitely would want to be the one holding the pen. Because if someone else writes it, it's from their perspective. And who knows you better than yourself and you? So I would implore upon you guys to grab that pen and start rewriting your life. The next one that I have for you is don't waste your time looking back on what you've lost. Move on, for life is meant to be traveled forward. And I know a lot of times, we go through things, we have past hurts, things that happened in the past, and it kind of inhibits us at some point from moving forward. But what you have to remember is the past and it must remain there. But it is up to us. Every day that we wake up, we get a new chance to become our greatest versions of self. And so I implore you to take your time, and take every day one step at a time. Because eventually your past won't bother you, your present will be magnificent, and your future, well, you'll have to wait and see about that. The last one that I have is about friends, and this is going to tie into what else I have to say next. I have a quote that says, if all my friends were to jump off a bridge, I would not jump with them. And I generally say that, just because other people are doing it, I'm not going to do it. However, this quote is a little bit different. It has a different twist. It says, I would be at the bottom to catch them. A real friend is someone who walks in when the rest of the world walks out. And I think that's true. I think, we all can strive to be better friends because sometimes we kind of say things, have our tunnel vision, have our own perspective, and we kind of discount what our friends may be going through. But, regardless of whether your friends are doing something that you would approve of or not, a true friend will be there along the ride with you, making sure that you know what you're capable of and making sure that you're not stagnated in the position that you're in. So that kind of bridges me into my next issue. I've noticed that just in my readings that several states are looking to open up because apparently American greed and money is much more important than human lives. And while I do understand that people have to work and economies must continue to grow, I also want to look at who's being affected the most by this COVID-19. And apparently it is our African American brothers and sisters who are being affected by the COVID-19. And I just find it completely odd that all of a sudden, once we find that in many of the cases, over 52%, 60% in some cases, are African Americans and they are the ones dying, we decide that we need to open up the country. America needs to grow. So, government is going to do what it wants to do. And governors are going to do what they want to do. I'm here in South Carolina, so I'm certain McMaster is going to probably go forward with opening things up. He's already kind of stipulated that he will be opening up things like jewelry stores, furniture stores, retail stores, clothing stores, things of that nature, bookshops, florists. It's a list of things. But what he won't be opening is salons, barbershops, gyms. That's on a short list, but he'll open up the beach, which I find is completely outrageous. However, for those of you who are watching that are minorities, when knowing that you are actually in a position to be affected the most, I want you guys to think very consciously about what you do and where you go. Many of us minorities have predispositions to certain diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol. And so that's not something that we can really change. Of course, we can do good diet, and of course we can, try to exercise, and that's fantastic, but sometimes it's going to come anyway. And so that's not something for the lack of it that some of us really were doing things to make us get it. And so those predispositions really do allow you to be more susceptible to the coronavirus. I think about myself, I've been blessed. I don't have, high blood pressure, cholesterol, any of those things. However, I do have lupus. And because of that, that means that I have a compromised immune system. And so, the whole world can open up next week. But me, I'm going to take my time. I'm not going out because I know that we are going to see another spike in COVID-19 cases closer to the end of the month. And, for us to continue to grow, we must be smart. And so I think that this will be the best time for our minority communities to stay at home. And yes, I know everybody's tired of staying at home, but I think it is best that we only go out when we need to, but definitely not in with the masses, because that's not going to turn out well for us. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. As always, take care of yourselves. Do the things that are making you happy. Continue to challenge yourself with these challenges that we're going through, for the next, I think we have another 10 days. So, we have 10 more days. So even if you just started today with your challenge, you have 10 more days to change it. And we're going to move right into May and continue going forward, because why stop? We're on the road to being better versions of ourselves, being the truest versions of ourselves. So at the end, I want to thank you guys again for watching, and just make sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode. As always, if no one else told you they love you today, I definitely do. Take care.